Hello boys and girls, I hope you're all having a very good day. Okay, so before we get started, what I want you to do is make sure that you've got a glass of water ready for a drink. Make sure that you've got either a gymnastics mat or a yoga mat or that you're on carpet. I want you to make sure you've got lots of space around you to do all of the different exercises. And I want you to make sure that you are doing all of the exercises properly and you are picking exercises that aren't too challenging for you. Also, make sure that your parents know where you are and know that you're doing this video so that they can come and check on you and that they know where you are in case anything goes wrong. Okay, so make sure that you've also done a warm up and stretch before we get started. Remember, you can pause this video at any time to take a drink, or you can pause it now if you've not already done your warm up and stretch and do that quickly. And yeah, we're going to move straight on to working on our core today. Our core is super important for protecting us from injury, especially very important for protecting our back. We need a good strong core for making all of our different shapes, our tuck shapes, our pike shapes, our dish shapes, our arch shapes, our straight shapes, even our squat position for our landings. And it's very important to have a good strong core to hold nice start positions and finish positions, and for our kickouts, for doing nice sharp kickouts in all of our somersaults. Core is very important for lots of different skills like our handstands and our handsprings, our round offs, our flips, our whips. It's very important for rolls, for jumps, and for balances. So I'm sure you can tell that it is super important to have a good strong core for almost every discipline that we do in Dynamite, from general gymnastics to floor and vaults to display, trampoline, tumble, and CMT all need a very good core for all of those different disciplines. It is also super important because our core exercises make up a lots of different parts of our range and conditioning, and that is super important to have a good range and conditioning if we want to go down south and represent Team Scotland at the regional team finals. It is also super important to have a strong core for staying tight in lots of different skills and passes and routines and runs, and for making sure that we have a really strong core to stay tight in case anything is going wrong in one of those passes or runs or routines. If we've got a strong core, we can hopefully pull that back together, that run or that pass or that routine, and get all the way to the very last skill. And yeah, super important also, our core is very important for making sure that we have a lot of endurance for those longer display routines so that we can make it all the way through to the very end and still be doing some lovely balances. So before we start off with today's session, it is important that we are confident with a lot of different shapes in gymnastics. So we're going to be using our front support positions, our back support positions, our side support positions, our dish position, our arch position, our squatting position, our straight shape, our downward dog. Okay, so it's very important that we know how to do those properly. If you do not feel confident with those positions and those shapes, make sure to check out the previous videos where I go through lots of different progressions, lots of different options for doing those shapes and for doing them safely and for making sure that we're doing them with the correct technique. So I am going to go through the correct technique for those shapes right now, just to give you a wee reminder. Okay, we want to always make sure that our head is in line with our body. Okay, we want to make sure that we have our hands directly under our shoulders in our support positions. We want to make sure that our fingers are always facing forwards. We want to make sure that we are bracing our tummy, squeezing tight through our core muscles. We want to have a nice flat back position in all of those positions. We want to have straight arms where possible. We want to make sure that we are squeezing our glutes. We want to make sure that in our squatting position, our toes are pointed out slightly. We want to make sure that we have nice pointed toes. and nice straight legs where possible. And if we're doing any position that involves our back, it's super important that that is flat to the floor or completely straight, depending on what position we are doing, okay? So let's move on and get started with today's different circuits. Today's video is going to be a circuit. It is going to have 3 different rounds in it. Each round is going to have a minute break in between for recovery. The rounds are going to consist of 14 different exercises and we are doing them for 20 seconds each, okay? The exercises are either full crunches using both legs or V-sits. So we are going to get started. The first exercise we are going to do is going to be a burpee without standing. So we're going to start in our front support position and we're just going to jump our feet in and feet back out. Then our next exercise is going to be a compression exercise. So hopefully you have a slider or a wooden floor, or you can put a cushion or a pillow on top of something and use that to drag your feet in. And we're going to start with our feet out like this. And we're going to drag our feet all the way in as wide as, or as close as we can to our hands. Then walk back out and do the same continuously. So the next exercise that we are going to be doing is a, let me see, dumbbell V-sit or a dumbbell crunch. So we're going to start, and again you can use a cushion as a weight, or you can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a weight plate, whatever you've got handy. We're going to start with the weight in our hands and we're going to lift all the way up and back down and crunch all the way in with both legs. And then when we're doing it in a V-sit, we're just going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to have our legs completely straight and we're going to crunch all the way up and back down. Okay, so our next exercise is going to be our seated tucks and our seated pikes. So we're going to start with our legs in this position and we're going to go out and back in, out and in. And then we're going to do the same thing for our pikes. Start all the way in and we're going to go out and back in, out and in. And then our next exercise are going to be our full crunches and our full V-sits. So for our full crunch, we're going to start in a full dish and go all the way in and out, keeping our back flat to the floor. And then same with the V-sit. Starting with our arms again behind our ears, reaching all the way up and down. Next up, we have reverse crunches and reverse V-sits. So we're going to start with our hands down, knees tucked in, and we're just going to lift up and back down, up and down. And same with the reverse V-sit. We're going to start with our legs like this and lift all the way up and down, up and down. And then we're going to move on to our reaches. So we're going to start with our crunches, and all we're going to do is have our knees up like this, and we're just going to start with our hands like this. We're going to try to reach up to touch our toes, up and down like that. And then for our reaches, we're going to start with our legs straight and try to reach all the way up to touch our toes. Then we're going to move on and we're going to finish off with tuck jumps and pike jumps on repeat. So just rebound, tuck jumps and pike jumps. No need to stop in between them. Try to keep going as fast as you can and get as many in the timer. Go. And our compression drills. And our dumbbell V-sit. And our dumbbell crunch. And our seated tucks. And our seated V's. And our full crunches. And our full V-sits. And our reverse crunch. And our reverse V-sits. And our front reaches. And our V reaches. And our tuck jumps. our pike jumps to finish off. Go. And our compression drills. And our dumbbell V-sit. And our dumbbell crunch. And our seated tucks. And our seated V's. And our full crunches. And our full V-sits. And our reverse crunch. and our reverse V-sits. And our crunch reaches. And our V reaches. And our tuck jumps. And our pike jumps to finish off. Go. And our compression drills. And our dumbbell V-sit. And our dumbbell crunch. And our seated tucks. and our seated V's. And our full crunches. And our full V sits. And our reverse crunch. And our reverse V sits. And our crunch reaches. And our V reaches. And our tuck jumps. And our pike jumps to finish off.
So that's you at the end of your circuits. Congratulations, you've done an excellent job. Don't forget to be nice and safe and do a good cool down and a stretch after you've finished. And if you have anything that is sore, make sure to tell your carer so that they know, in case there's anything wrong, to go and get you checked out. Okay, so make sure to like and subscribe the videos so that you can keep up with all of the different videos that all of the coaches are putting up. And I hope you are having an excellent time at school and you've had a really, really good week. Okay, bye guys.